The SI is at the core of Civic's youthful and fun-to-drive image. Since its inception 34 years ago, the SI badge has been a sign of sporty performance and casts a fun-to-drive halo throughout the Civic lineup. The all-new 2022 Honda Civic Si continues its long heritage of driving feel, heightened performance, agility, and passion.
The history of SI has always been about that performance model. Really delivers a great overall driving dynamic, a really fun to drive car, yet it's very useful as every day, and it's very affordable and attainable. It's just a great combination of having this really great car, but not having to extend yourself. And so it's almost anybody can afford to get into it.
An athletic stance was built into every detail of the SI, and those features set it apart.
The key difference between the SI and the sedan is the SI does have the standard darker headlights. What that does is it really darkens out the headlights. So we get the really nicely designed LED headlights, but that gives them a really a dark, more sporty look. And on the sedan, you look at the LX and the EX, it has a silver, so that it has a more a lighter look to the lights versus very dark and sporty like this one. But it also has a different grille, a little bit different treatment underneath was the mesh, and it plays two purposes. One, it's a design element that actually, it complements the interior design with the honeycomb, but it also has an efficient use where it actually helps with the airflow. We do have the black mirrors. Another really nice piece is the black window surround. So rather than being chrome, it has a nice black window surround to give it an overall blackout look. And then as you move around the car, you'll see we incorporated the black spoiler in the back. So you get the black treatment throughout some little different tones and tonality. They play together really well to give it that really sporty, aggressive look.
The muscular features continue around the back of the beefy SI.
The taillights too, we do have a little bit different design than we have on the sedan, a little bit darker treatment to it. And again, it gives a little bit sportier look to it. The chrome exhaust tips, which not only have a nice design, but behind those you actually have a true dual exhaust. So it not only has a nice look, it actually serves a function. The exhaust is a performance exhaust. So it's actually tuned for extra sound, to give you an extra sound to it. It also has some pressure changes, so it actually helps really with the overall performance of the car. In addition to the exhaust outlets, you will notice that we do have the SI badge, and we also have a rear spoiler. The spoiler actually helps for the coefficient lift on the back. It creates that downforce, keeps you really well planted, and really helps you through the curves and stability on the road.
Rounding out the exterior are SI's exclusive wheels.
The Civic Si has a standard 18-inch matte black wheel. Similar design that you see on the Sport. The difference is it's a matte black versus on our sedan we have a Berlina black. And the matte black again is associated more with being a little bit more sporty, and it plays in tandem well with the other black accents on the car. So it really creates this very sporty overall look to the car. We do have a high performance tire that's a factory option that you can add. It's basically a summer tire, so you can put it on, gives you a little bit more traction when you want to go out to the racetrack or just enjoy more spirited driving. Civic Si is offered in 6 colors. The blazing orange over my shoulder, which I love. It really accentuates the overall design of the car. Another really sporty color we have is a GM blue. We have a rally red that also looks great. For those that are less show off, we do have a platinum white. We have a crystal black. And then one of our top colors we have on Civic is the Sonic Gray.
SI's interior is open, inviting, and packed with features.
When you step inside the Civic Si, you're going to notice a really spectacular interior. It's got a 9-inch touchscreen, it's got that beautiful honeycomb decoration panel, and then what's really going to pop at you is the overall red accents. So first and foremost is the seat. So in the current car, it's kind of a black seat with a red accent. On this car, it's more of a red seat with a black accent. When you step inside the Civic, you'll see it's a very clean and open and airy environment. But what really will jump out at you are those key Civic Si accents. The red seat with a black trim, those subtle things that really scream at you. It's SI and it really means business. It's all about it being a driver's car.
Designers and engineers work to enhance the car's performance by studying and improving all aspects of the SI. The result? An agile and nimble ride that hugs the corners.
So when you look at the SI and the suspension, it's all about performance. The current generation's phenomenal. So what the team said is, okay, we're going to improve upon that. So they really start out with where can we add additional stiffening to add more stability to the car. They went out through the whole car and basically added stiffening throughout. It's almost to the level of a Type R type performance. There's a lot of attention to detail, all about the driving dynamics of this car. Exclusive to SI is the powertrain. We have the 1.5 turbo that actually is 200 horsepower and 192 pound-feet of torque. Again, it is exclusive to the SI, but there's more to the story than that. We've added a lightweight flywheel, which allows the car to rev quicker, which actually gives it a more like a race car type feel. We've added rev match. Rev matches allows you to, as you shift, the revs come down and match it, get much more responsive results, so it's much quicker through the corners when you're coming out, and it's a much more natural feel to the vehicle. The third thing that we've added is a sport mode into the car. The sport mode on the SI is actually a little bit different than the one that you get on the 4-door and the 5-door. So what the sport mode does with SI is it controls throttle response. It also controls sound. But one thing it also controls that the other cars don't is it actually has steering input, which we don't get on the sport mode in the current sedan or the hatchback. And when it comes to the drive modes in the SI, you have a normal, you have a sport, and then you have an individual mode. And this is the first time we've ever had an individual mode in the SI. So it's similar to something you find in a Type R. Individual, you can actually go in and pick. So there's the throttle input, and it holds the revs. So when you're cruising down the road, you're going along, it's gonna hold it like about 2,000 RPMs. So when you wanna push on the accelerator, it's much more responsive and quicker to respond. The sound control, what it does is when you press on the accelerator, it creates the sound that you expect to get when you give a certain amount of press to the throttle. And then lastly is the steering. Those are actually just tightens up the steering a little bit.
The latest technology and safety features are a must.
Civic Si only comes in one trim. It's got the standard premium Bose audio system with the 12 speakers. It also has a moonroof standard. And of course, it also comes standard with the latest and greatest Honda Sensing suite of safety features and driver assist. So you get a lot of feature content on this car for the money.
The beauty of the SI has always been its combination of performance, exclusive features, and a more connected driving experience for your enthusiasts.
It's all about that way it feels when you drive it through the corners and through the turns. It's an experience that is just thrilling. It's not about straight ahead driving, it's all about driving through the corners and through the turns and feeling that sense of confidence and having that joy of driving that you experience with this car.
ولا تنسون تشتركون معنا في القناة عشان يوصلكم جديد أخبار وأسعار السيارات والعروض أول بأول بإذن الله.